Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.
In a world where everyone says hello,
they dare to say,
g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, g'day.
Yeah, g'day. Yes. Good day. Yeah.
G'day.
G'day. Yeah. G'day. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Good day.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
good day.
G'day. Hey. Yeah. G'day. Yeah. G'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah. G'day, everyone.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Welcome to Yeah G'day, the complete guide to Australia, the podcast coming from Australia to non-Australia and also Australia.
We're all about inclusivity.
We've just recently launched in Australia.
Yeah.
It's going horribly.
Yeah.
They
People
just
here already know
they
everything.
don't get it.
Yeah, they're like, wait, we know this. Why are you telling us this?
They're like, yeah, I ride an emu to work every day. What could you tell me about my pet? Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous down here.
They're aware of it.
Tim, welcome to episode 36.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
As I said that, the 36th second ticked over.
It's a sign
We have
that
to stop
you have correlated those two events.
And yesterday was Friday
no
the
reason.
13th,
Yeah.
so who the fuck knows what's going to happen?
It was. I got called out at work because I brought up that it was Friday 13th. It was in everyone's ha kind of way. But
You're fired.
This lady I sit across from Helen, she's like, "Why did you bring it up? Now we're cursed." And I was like, "Whoa, okay."
You were cursed before that, Helen.
It's not how it works, but anyway, sure, why not?
Yeah, everyone knows that with Friday the 13th, if you bring it up,
Yeah.
then you're cursed.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the episode 36, we've made it quite a way from humble beginnings
Yeah.
to now. I didn't have anything...
I guess.
I feel like a lot I bring up this point about how we've come so far, but I do it too often, and so it loses weighting. But we have come so far,
Yeah.
and in the end, doesn't even matter.
It gets a little bit lighter.
When I was just a little boy,
Yep.
I said to Mother, "Can I have a chocolate, please?"
Okay.
And
What'd she say?
Well, the wooden spoon spoke wonders.
Oh.
No, she
Was there a
didn't-
chocolate on the wooden spoon?
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she wouldn't for that. So I would ask for chocolate, which is a rarity for me because as a child I didn't like chocolate.
Okay. Weird.
Because I was a lolly man,
Yeah, right.
and I was a lolly man until university, when my palate matured and I started eating
Matured to
Booster
chocolates.
bars.
Yeah, right.
$1 Boost bars from the chemist.
Oh, yeah, those are the goods.
But there was a specific reason that I would get this chocolate, which it was more about that than the chocolate itself.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
a similar thing happened to me with a horrible un-Australian chocolate called Kinder Surprise.
Oh, we do love... No, come on. We all love Kinder Surprise.
I don't because it's got white chocolate in it. So
Oh, I'm a big fan.
I used to get Kinder Surprises just for the toys, and I'm pretty sure I remember having arguments with my mum being like, "It's just for the toy," and I'm like, "No, it's not. I want the chocolate." And
You
then
throw
being
the
like,
chocolate away.
"I ate this chocolate."
I find the chocolate muy bueno.
Oh,
That's a joke about the brand. Anyway, moving on.
So I did the same thing for that, but this one was a little bit easier to digest because number one, it's Australian. Number two, it's pure milk chocolate.
The purest.
Tim, I'm talking about the hit, the legend, the Yowie.
The Yowie. The chocolate Yowie.
Chocolate Yowie, not the real being.
Not the definitely real, not fake at all,
Mythological,
bunyip-like creature. Yeah.
We'll do an episode about that at a different time. This will have in brackets the chocolate.
Yeah,
or something
Yowie
like that.
in brackets chocolate.
Yowie colon the sequel.
Yeah.
To chocolate. Tim,
Yeah.
did you eat Yowies as a
did.
kid?
I did eat Yowies. I loved Yowies. I embraced the Yowie lifestyle because that's what it was. It was more than a chocolate. It was a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a way of life.
They had cartoons. They had toys. I had a Yowie. Like, I'm not talking about the toys in the Yowie.
Oh, you had a
I'm
toy
talking
of the
about,
Yowie.
Like, the soft,
Yeah, plush.
plush Yowies. I had one of those.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite? Because for those of you playing at home, you'll see it. Each Yowie came wrapped in a foil that was coloured and had a little character on it.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference?
I'm trying to, I had one of the stuffed ones. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
There was-
I think it might have been It was the green one?
Yeah, like green
Oof.
turquoisey one? Or the green, there was
no,
a
like
green,
an emerald,
one.
like a dark emerald green one.
Oh, yeah. There was him. There was like the turquoisey one, I think. There was wasn't it the red one who had the big mustache?
Yes, I am actually just looking at them now. The one that I had was Ditty.
Right.
He had a big purple mustache.
Oh, yeah. So he was green.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
no, I had Crag, sorry. He was
here
the
we go.
lighter green.
Right.
There's no one that you said.
What, the red one?
Yeah, there is a red one, but he doesn't have a
No, I was
mustache.
getting him mixed up with Diddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy. So, yeah, because I think my preference was for greens and blues because I like those colours. Here's the thing, though, Tim. Here's a little secret for you. Before we get into the episode, I've got some insider trading information.
Yeah, right.
They're all the same chocolate.
What?
Our heater just exploded a little bit in the background. I said they're all the same chocolate. Yeah, they're all the same chocolate. Doesn't matter what color you get.
Wow, that's not surprising at all.
No,
all right.
But tell me about them. I don't want to be the facts man today.
No, I'm the facts man. I'm taking back the mantle. Look, Yowie is, like I said, it's more than chocolate. It's a lifestyle. It's a confectionery and publishing brand. Originated in Australia in 1995. So it's a young'un.
Yeah,
Australia, even by Australian standards.
but peak our childhood.
Yeah.
Like it just really kicked us right more.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
In the kid years.
It's a joint collaboration between Cadbury and Kid Corp, I think.
Kid Corp sounds like the bad guy from Spy Kids
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Oh, 100%.
Like, hello, we are Kid Corp.
Yeah,
We are
or
here for
Baby
the kid.
Geniuses. Did you ever watch Baby Geniuses? Fucking terrible movie. Unwatchable, but
Right.
I've seen it a lot of times.
But I watch it a lot.
Yeah. So it was one of the top-selling chocolates in Australia, as we said, in the late 1990s and early 2000s, selling over 1 million units a week.
And I was buying most of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, they had a bit of a break of about a decade, but they have relaunched recently in 2014, but only in the US market.
Okay.
And we have to bloody scramble to try and get
Just-
them here.
Number one, we call the years without Yowies the dark years.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I had a penny,
Yeah.
which would be no use to me, but if I had a penny for every time that I walked into a shop and said, I wish there was a Yowie, I would be pennyful.
The Yowies left this great land, but there was a prophecy that one day they would return, and once they did return, all would be right in the land, and we've been thrown into an age of chaos and darkness since. So we do await the heralding of our saviors, the Yowies, to return.
And here's the second thing. When they did return, now, America, we love you. You're our highest listens. You're great. You're doing your best.
Yeah.
You do
Oof.
you.
That's not
Your
going
chocolate is shit.
well. Oh, yeah.
Of America, because you have corn syrup in
Yeah.
everything. So you just like what chocolate
Here's
is to you is basically colored corn
Yeah.
syrup.
Here's the thing about corn syrup. It's gross.
It's
and
yucky.
it makes the chocolate taste like shit.
And so you guys might remember Tim and I posting on the Instagrams when we got those nostalgia boxes. That was the thing that you could order, and it came with like all the lollies from your childhood, like Ghost Drops and Yowies. And
Oh, it
things like that.
it was a great time.
And I mainly got it for the Yowie, and then I eat the Yowie.
the
And it's
worst
American
part-
chocolate.
worst
It was
part of the box.
It was horrid. And they've also Yowie used to be like Kinder Surprises, and it was just like a tiny little thing inside.
The
but
little
because
egg
America,
thing,
because
yeah.
Kinder Surprise are banned in America. Are they still banned in America because of the choking
I
hazard?
don't know.
And so what they've done with the Yowie is that they've made the plastic container inside the size of the chocolate, so much so that the inside seam of the plastic is in between to like the chocolate sits on.
Yeah, so the Yowie's it's not a whole Yowie.
No, you've just got two
halves of the Yowie.
chocolate halves
Yeah.
on this plastic shell. So I was disappointed is not even the word. I was heart punched and gut wrenched.
It's a far cry from what we grew up with. But
But tell me the story, Tim, of how we got to this fall from grace.
Let's look. Yowie actually began as a brainchild of an English-born man who was an advertiser. He was in advertising. I don't know how you refer to someone in advertising. Not as an advertiser, I'm assuming.
Ad man?
Ad man.
Him
maybe.
specifically would have been an ad man.
Yeah, actually, I think an ad man is correct. Illustrator and author Jeff Pike. He served in
PY or PI?
PI. Not that it matters.
It's got some weighting.
Radio. He served in the Navy, but he jumped ship in Australia. He found work as a jackaroo on a remote cattle station, became quite enchanted with Australia's outback and its unique wildlife, and devoted a lot of his free time to nursing injured and orphaned animals back to health.
Oh, this is making a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now, many decades later, after he had become quite successful in advertising as an advertiser ad man, he drew on the early bush experiences, love of wild places, and he created this mythical Yowie kingdom, which was a kind of a realm free of destructive influence of humanity. Because that's kind of his idealized version.
Basically, Fern Gully.
Yeah, sorta. So he took like we mentioned, the Yowies, an actual creature from Australian
mythology,
indigenous mythology, which is it's reputed to roam around in the Australian bush. He kind of developed it. He came up with 6 characters, and they all have specific traits which are kind of connected to specific animals and specific areas. So you got Boof, the bottle brush Yowie. He's the cousin of the bandicoot, which we've not talked about. Bandicoot is like a weird Australian rabbit, I guess.
It's like a rabbit. It's like a possum with rabbit features.
Yeah,
like it's
kind of like a
possum
cross
that burrows.
If a possum and a rabbit did the deed, this is what would come out.
With a little bit of armadillo in it, without the hardness.
Yeah,
but definitely armadillo.
And then the
shade.
bandicoot has like its own like subspecies / cousin called the bilby, which is the cutest fucking thing you'll ever see in your life.
Give me bilbies.
Those are even more rabbit-like, and they're so little and they're so adorable. That's a sidetrack, though.
I don't think I'd want to be related to a bandicoot though. Like being the cousin to a bandicoot just sounds like he got the shit end of the stick.
yeah. But he's a protector of rainforests and mountains. Then you've got Crag, the mangrove Yowie, which is the one that I had the toy of.
Crag. Do you mean Craig, or do you mean Crag as in like the rock thing?
Like Crag, like the rock thing.
Okay, right.
Not Craig, like the name. Or
I don't know.
Craig, as our US counterparts say it.
Craig.
I love that I wish that we say Craig, because I think that's a hilarious way to say the name.
Yeah, but then you get fucked up with Greg.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry.
Craig,
so then you got Craig.
He's cousin of the crocodile, and he protects swamps and wetlands.
Good.
Ditty, the lily-pilly Yowie. He's a cousin of the wombat and protects the woodlands and meadows.
Okay, this is nice.
Nap, the honeygum Yowie. He's a cousin of the koala, and he protects forests and bushlands.
Yep.
Probably got a little bit of overlap with Boof. I imagine maybe their departments do probably work closely together on a lot of projects. Maybe I hope that the relationship between their departments is good.
Since the legislation's been passed, things have been a lot better.
I'm sure it has. Rumble, the red gum Yowie. He's cousin of the red kangaroo. I don't know why they're so specific about red kangaroos, but I actually know I do, because he's a protector of deserts and plains, and kangaroos are more about
so he's
that
just
area.
a tall Yowie boy.
For those that don't know, we haven't done kangaroos yet, have we?
No.
Red kangaroos are the biggest species, and they live primarily in desert and kind of plains areas. We'll go into it.
Red kangaroos are taller and more muscular than I am.
Friggin' huge. They're so big.
And I'm pretty tall and buff.
Rip you to pieces. And the last one is Squish, the fiddlewood Yowie.
Oh.
Fiddling in the woods. Cousin of the platypus and protector of rivers and streams.
What about the oceans?
Fuck the oceans, apparently.
Yeah, obviously.
Right.
So they all had a... Now...
Yeah.
But then how are they related? Because I assume the Yowies are related in some way. So if they're all the cousin of each of these things, it must be through marriage, because they're also related.
I don't think he went so far as to establish that, because this is a children's enterprise.
What are you doing, Mr. Pike?
I know. I would have made it very high fantasy and like had these sprawling family tree of how everyone's related to one another.
Fiction.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck. Should we write that? Should we write Yowie fan fiction?
I don't think I want to. Well, first of all, we're going to get an influx of responses that is a yes to that, and we probably will have to.
A suit would definitely follow.
Yeah, a lawsuit. I thought you meant like putting on a Yowie suit.
Well, we'd have to wear a suit to the suit
to be able to write that. I just don't know if I want to write a sex scene.
Who said anything about writing sex scenes?
It's fan fiction. What do you want me to do?
I'll create an elaborate... anyway.
Family
they
tree.
also had animal companions, apparently, which I don't really remember.
Wouldn't that just be their cousins? Or they
maybe.
have different companions?
Maybe.
Does it say?
There's a bunyip named Balthazar. He's the ruler of the Yowie kingdom.
That makes sense.
This is way more intricate than I thought. I think we could actually get like a story out of this.
But do you remember the ads? Like the ads for these were stories. Like they were little stories. Like you get your 30-second ad or whatever it was. But you would see like the Yowie king, and you would see destruction and the Yowie saving them. Like it wasn't just here's a Kinder Surprise, please take the chocolate and enjoy the toy. It was, these Yowies are the saviors of the wildlife. There was a lot to it.
Yeah. So there's also the Grumpkins.
What the fuck's a Grumpkin?
They're trying to destroy the harmony of the Yowie kingdom or something. They're the
So
bad
humans.
guys. So they seem to be the opposites.
So basically humans.
Yeah, but maybe they're creatures. I don't know.
Humans represented.
I feel like there's a lot of backstory here that we've missed
we
in
need to do
just eating the
some.
chocolates.
There's probably Yowie fanfiction.
Yeah. Anyway, so he took this idea to Cadbury. They developed the idea. 1994, he pitched it to Cadbury in 1994. 3 years developing the characters and the manufacturing process. In 97, they launched the Yowie as a foil-wrapped, character-shaped milk chocolate shell containing a plastic capsule. That is somehow extremely long and extraordinarily specific and succinct as a product description.
Yeah, I'm glad they've put that out there because
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. So that was 97.
That was 97, yeah.
So I was a year before starting primary school,
Yeah.
and you were in year 1. Year 2.
97. Yeah,
Year one.
year 1. Yeah.
So it is definitely prime time for me wanting chocolates at the shops.
Oh, big time, big time. So obviously, yeah, we mentioned that they had these shells in there. Inside the shells was a multi-part collectible model of a native Australian or New Zealand animal. There was apparently 50 different animals, plus there was 6 Yowie figurine characters that you could get as well.
Yeah, they were cool.
Which were cool. But the ones you really wanted was to try and get these little... It was like Kinder Surprise. You put them together.
Yeah, you they have like little pegs.
And they were always just, native Australian and New Zealand animals. I remember I had a quoll, which was kind of the one that I remember the best, probably.
Yeah. I feel like I put together a platypus or a wombat here and there.
Yeah.
Probably a kangaroo.
Maybe a platypus, yeah.
Like, I had lots of Yowies. Because Yowies as well, I feel were marketed more for young boys. I feel like a Kinder Surprise somehow... and it doesn't make any sense because, first of all, nothing is gendered. But second of all, chocolate is definitely not gendered. But I feel like Kinder Surprise, in my mind as a kid, sat more with girls, maybe, because I think my sisters were more into Kinder Surprise than I was. And then I feel like Yowies, because, first of all, I think all of the Yowies are boys, aren't they? Or is there one?
I don't know. It never really...
Well, it's all...
outlines
Again,
what
Yowies
they are.
aren't gendered, but,
Yeah.
one's got a moustache, and I'm pretty sure they all had... man voices. Oh, I just remember the one that's the cousin of the kangaroo. He used to hop around like a kangaroo.
Yeah, Rumble, yeah.
But yeah, so to me, this is what I'm saying about the reason I ate so many Yowies is because I think they were marketed more for me.
Interesting.
I don't know. Do you feel?
I never really had that. But yeah, because Nikki...
I had
remember
deep thoughts
Nikki...
as a 4-year-old.
Nikki definitely had Yowies. I don't remember Gabby so much, but she was pretty young / only being born at that point.
Yeah. Born with a Yowie in her hand.
Yeah. So they were selling, like I said, 1 million units weekly.
That's amazing.
In its first year, it sold 2.5 Yowies for every man, woman, and child in Australia.
That's a lot of fucking Yowie.
It's a lot of Yowies.
Because at that time,
a lot of wow.
That's a spicy Yowie. Because at that time, that was when Australia was at its 21 million population.
Yeah, probably would have been around
20
20, 21 million, yeah.
So that's that times 2.5.
Yes.
Which is...
How much?
60 million?
No, 53.
Okay, so you can't say no I was completely wrong. For me, I was very close.
Yeah, no, 7 million is close. I will give you that.
That's the closest I've ever been. That's a lot of Yowie.
It's a lot of Yowie.
And they took them away from us.
They did. And the weird... a kind of collectible culture grew up around these as well. People were collecting the little figurines and stuff, which is probably why they went so well.
Yeah, well, to make anything last, you've got to, number one, put a toy with it. But number two, as I said, the story behind it, the ads were, felt to me, short cartoons. I even think they made them, have little storyline, that were called certain things, I think. There was a lot going on.
Well, this is the other thing. To coincide with the release, they actually had a series of Yowie books, which maybe that's what you're talking about, telling the stories of the Yowie characters and as they protected their domains from the threat of the Grumpkin, which were the weird figures that I'm not 100% sure what they are. Here's the crazy thing. They were written by Jeff Pike, and take a guess at who else helped write these.
Enid Blyton.
No. I'm pretty sure she was dead by that point. Isn't she super old?
Virginia Woolf.
No.
Andy Griffiths.
No, but I could see that. That would be alright.
Man or woman?
Man.
Man that we've talked about before?
Man that you're pretty into, I think, actually.
Matthew Riley?
No.
Morris Gleitzman?
No.
Robert?
Maybe
True.
I'm completely off base. Maybe this is more something your dad. Bryce Courtney.
Oh, no, I've never read a Bryce Courtney book.
Yeah, no, neither.
But that does sound like something my dad would read.
Yeah.
Dad,
I
have you
think
read-
it's actually more of a dad book, yeah.
Mum, has Dad read a Bryce Courtney book?
Yeah. Please comment below.
That's like he's a pretty well-known author, isn't he?
He's a really well-known author. Yeah.
He was writing Yowie stories. Fuck yeah.
Illustrated by award-winning artist Christopher Minos and Helen Steele. I've not heard those names. But
No, I haven't
That
either.
doesn't mean anything.
No, we're not very arty.
I don't know shit. So,
I'm an idiot.
and the series actually sold more than 2 million copies as well. So these books were actually immensely popular as
I wonder
well.
if we can still get them.
You probably could. You could probably track them down on eBay. They had other merch, including soft toys, which I mentioned,
Yes.
clothing, games, activity books, and Yowie music CDs. Now that's something I would like to get my hands on.
Oh, you
Forget
know.
So Fresh. I want to hear that Yowie hits of summer.
All right, Australia, New Zealand, American listeners, we need you guys to pull together, and we need you to send us all the Yowie paraphernalia. Our address is redacted, but yeah, no, you can definitely
Just write redacted on the
it'll get to us.
on the package.
That would be awesome. A Yowie CD. It'd
Yeah,
be
it'd
like
be
a
sick.
Pokemon CD, but Australian.
I'd like to hear popular songs of the time, but sung by the Yowie characters.
Oh hell yeah!
A la Hamster Dance.
Oh
That'd be awesome.
yes, give me the Amsterdam. Because the platypus one as well, he had like spitty tongue, like he was a
Yeah,
platypus.
that's a typical character trait. That Splat or whatever his name was on Billy
Sploot,
Bill did
splat,
that as well.
spit, spittle. Splatoon.
Spiggity doo. Anything with a beak, pretty much. Daffy Duck does the same thing.
Anything with a beak. There's a general rule of thumb for animators. Anything with a beak, it's got a lisp.
Bill. Sorry, it's got to have a bill, not a beak.
Oh no, beaks don't have a lisp.
No, beaks are short and sharp, my friend. Bills have a lisp.
Bills do.
Or okay. Did I just figure something out here? Let's find out.
Okay. Here
So
we go.
Daffy Duck,
Yep.
this guy apparently,
Yep.
and Splat or whatever,
Yes.
I can't remember his
And
name.
Donald.
They all speak forward in their mouth and thus have a lisp. But Donald
What?
has like this weird croaky thing. I think he speaks from the back of his throat to avoid having the lisp. This is not related to what we're talking about, but I think I just figured
But
something
no,
out.
Donald still has a lisp. It's just not the same lisp. Like he has.
But it's not
But you
like
could be
it's not
right.
a tongue lisp.
No,
it's
no.
like a weird thing
No, that's
about.
what I'm saying. You could be right.
I think
that
I'm right.
He's just got a lisp due to the back of his.
Did I just figure something out that nobody's ever thought of before?
It's really hard being this smart. In
Yeah,
this
it
world,
really is. I'm so
surrounded by
hungry.
Idiots.
Yeah.
Okay. So I forget what we're up to. Oh, we're up to the illustrators.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They did have like these little like specific I guess kind of collectible periods. Like they had the Lost Kingdoms, which were extinct animals from around the world across geological regions, including dinosaurs and other reptiles and Australian megafauna.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they had megafauna at that
That was in
point.
2000. They did that one. 50 prehistoric figurines and 6 limited edition skulls.
Ooh,
I
skull.
don't remember the skulls.
That'd be cool.
And there was like glow in the dark ones. By this point, I think they'd figured out that there was a collector culture
Yeah.
around this stuff. So they started doing like, this was very typical of the early 2000s, like glow in the dark ones
yeah.
and like clear ones. You know, even
Glow in
with
the
those
dark and
knuckles
clear.
and stuff, they used to do
Knuckles.
this exact same shit.
Oh, I can't wait
It's
to
like,
talk
here's
about
all the
Knuckles.
normal ones. Here's ones that glow in the dark. Here's ones that are some other nonsense. And it's
Here's
like,
a
it's the
clear
same
one.
thing. But
Yeah.
yeah. And it cost the same for them to think.
Same with Macca's toys. They went glow in the dark for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yowie Adventures. This one doesn't seem to be anything that interesting, to be honest. And Forgotten Friends, featuring recently extinct animals.
Forgotten Friends.
That
but-
one's a little dark for me.
Yeah, Forgotten Friends. Jim, Frank.
Yeah. So there's 30 figures, and apparently these were like animals that were more recently extinct.
Yeah.
A little darker.
But see, that was the thing that I like about Yowies now that as I'm older looking back on it and stuff, is that it was drawing attention to endangered wildlife and already extinct wildlife. And that's what they're kind of doing now as well. So when I got mine, I think I got a rabbit or something.
I don't remember what was in mine.
And I think I got a hare, maybe. I don't know. But it was like an American endangered animal, and you could get like bald eagles and stuff like that. Like I think the bald eagles are endangered.
Yeah.
Does it say why they fucked off?
No, it doesn't mention why they stopped selling.
It's one of life's great mysteries.
God took them from us.
He gave them to us and he took them straight back.
Yeah.
I remember the day that God came down from the mountain and said, I gave these to you and I can take them away.
Yeah. You all better shut the fuck up or I'm going to take your yowies away.
If you don't stop arguing about trading that megafauna, I'm going to take these yowies away.
Yeah.
And the thing about yowies is that, like, because they really were everywhere. Like, you think of any shop, whether it be newsagent, corner store, supermarket, the canteen at gymnastics, the canteen at sport, there was always a cardboard box that had yowies in it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back then, they were probably like $2, $3. Now they're like $6 for a yowie.
Everything's expensive now. Nothing's like it was when we were kids.
They also
Everything's wrong. I'm scared.
They also understand the hot commodity that is the yowies now that they're back. They have, I think, fixed it, and I think they've started making them in Australia again as well.
Yeah,
like,
I think we talked about this. They were going to start releasing it properly back into Australia again.
According to that deep research that we did on the Wikipedia, they started manufacturing in America in, was it 2014?
Yes, and I can see here. Oh, they've returned in April 2017.
Yeah, to
Australia.
Shelves.
But I think they were the US ones. Too.
Yeah, so I think now, because I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if I've had another one. I wanted another one, but I just don't have the money for them. But I think I had high hopes that it was going to go back to being Australian chocolate, because I will not buy another.
Yeah.
Americans, I'm telling you, I love you guys. You guys are the best, but your chocolate is shit.
Yeah. Apparently they're made in Florida by a company called Whetstone Chocolates now.
Well, yeah, your chocolate tastes like Whetstone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Covered in corn syrup.
Delicious.
That's not true. What did we have the other week? Milk Duds. I was into those.
Milk Duds were alright.
Where'd you guys get that from? Where'd you guys learn how to make chocolate like that?
Yeah.
But Hershey's, no thank you.
But Milk Duds were more like...
chewy caramels.
Yeah, chewy caramels. There wasn't so much chocolate involved.
You do have...
can't really fuck that up.
You do have some good chocolate things.
You do enjoy caramel well. We'll give you that.
You do caramel. And you do have some... Good, caramel's probably just full of corn syrup.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you do have other good chocolates. But don't... Hey, if you come for our yowies, we're coming for you.
We'll take your... Fried chicken. You guys do fried chicken well. We'll take that.
Let's leave with them.
Yeah, rightio. Anyway, that's the chocolate yowie.
The chocolate yowie.
That's all the facts that I have.
Brings back memories, and it brings a tear to my eye that we went so long without them.
Yeah.
No wonder.
Yeah, we're still kind of without them, but
no wonder Australia went to shit in those years. We didn't have yowies. Stabbing prime ministers in the back, left, right, and centre.
Yeah, that's the cause.
I don't even know who the prime minister is now. Do we have one? I don't know. Probably not.
Yes, we do. All right.
Is it a yowie?
I'd hope so.
Tim.
Yep.
Do you have a gift for me in the form of an email?
I think you know I do, because you watched me pick my phone up and you know that I have it open on my phone. I have a dadvice. Real life, here in my hand, sent in by someone.
As they always are.
As they always are. Dadvice.
But this one special than others because it was sent in, as they always are, but this one was...
Yeah, it's more special. All dadvices are equal, but some are more equal than others.
But not all are rectangles.
That's an Animal Farm reference.
It is.
We're very highbrow on this show.
Oh, yeah.
So this one's sent in by Kim Taylor. Now, I think we know Kim somehow. Well, I don't remember.
On that, isn't it her maiden name?
Her email is her maiden name. Now I'm looking at it, but she's written her name is Kim Taylor.
She said it was hard to find Kim Taylor as an email address, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Should I give out her email on this podcast? No,
we've got her bank details. So Kim, I think we know Kim.
Yeah. How do we know her? Maybe we mentioned her on the last two podcasts.
Yeah, in development.
Yeah, she's got a great podcast going.
Being an all-round cool lady who's going to make me waffles tomorrow.
Some brilliant stuff up on YouTube as well, where she does playthroughs and stuff as well, which is very cool.
Fun times.
Anyway, let's read this message. Hey, Tim and Leon, my name is Kim, and I need your advice.
Yes.
I've recently started my own podcast.
Oh.
In brackets, she's written, I hope to have my own Japan tour one day.
Well, it comes to the best of us.
Yeah,
so
you've got to work for it. You've got to work for it.
We've worked very, very hard.
You've got to talk about it a lot to make people think it's happening so that it does happen. And my friends have been very supportive.
Oh, bless.
Who?
Are we our friends? Wait, are we friends?
Oh, are we waiting for her to answer?
No, I was.
Hopefully she's listening to this in the
gonna ask her
office and
tomorrow.
she just said out loud,
When
yes,
I'm in
and
her-
everyone looked at her. That
I'm
would
in
be
her
awesome.
home.
Anyway, the problem is I don't feel deserving of their well wishes and high fives. I shoot down their messages of support with self-depreciating jokes, in brackets that aren't really jokes. How can I improve my self-confidence to be more positive about my podcast? Would love any help you can give me. Thanks in advance, Kim. P.S. Don't know why I've written this like I don't know you.
Because you don't. It's an illusion behind the curtain.
Whoa, who are you? I don't know who you are.
Kim, look, it's hard to take good feedback when all you've produced beforehand is shit.
And there goes the small amount of confidence she did have, you asshole.
No, that's me talking from my own experience because everything I've produced up until this point is pretty rotten.
Gee whiz.
I don't know. We're not the right people for this question. Because we don't do well with compliments. We don't get them either, but we don't do well with them.
I get them so rarely, I just do not know what to do when someone says them to me. No, I have... Look, it's compliments are nice. They are nice. And approval and people saying nice things to you is fantastic. It's always going to be weird. I don't think there's any way to get past it being weird. In terms of confidence, though, what I have, because I guess I'm similar to Kim in that I seek that in a lot of ways. And if I don't get that, I can start to think the worst a lot about things. But I've kind of taken a bit of a I don't care about this approach, which, if done in the right way, is productive.
Yes.
So if you have a big interview for a job, say, and you kind of approach it with whether I get this or not is not really important, and see it as the experience, then you kind of you attack it with a confidence that you might not have. For instance, the job I have now, I was told that they thought it was weird that I took coffee from outside in. I took like a takeaway coffee in.
Power move.
Yeah. And they thought that was like kind of a ballsy like thing that I was super comfortable. It didn't even occur to me that it was the wrong thing to do. It was just what I wanted to do. And I kind of had this very like, I'm just going to go to this interview and see what happens sort of attitude. Now I have the job.
Yeah.
So
they went through their whole list of people before they got to Tim. But
Oh, yeah. A lot of people said no before I got the job.
Right. So approach it with confidence, but also don't mind.
I think what I'm saying is to put it from your mind. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The best way,
dwell on it.
Yeah, the best way to try and get more confidence is not to concentrate on getting more confidence. It's to just try and stop thinking about not being confident and pursuing being more confident, and just living
your best life.
Living your best life, living as you do, doing what you do.
Yeah, it's the what's done is done. Like, the reason that doing a multiple choice or a written exam is sometimes better than doing an essay is that when the exam is over, you walk out, and if you had the mindset like I did during university, you forget about it, and because if you dwell on it, you can't fix it.
Exactly.
I agree with what you're saying, but I have two things that I've learnt this is the most serious we've ever answered a question on this show, I'm pretty sure. So Kim,
someone's going to fart loudly at the end just to brighten things up.
If I fart, I'll poo.
That will not brighten it up.
Ooh. So there's two things that I've picked up in the last couple of years. One of them is from RuPaul, and the other one has appeared on RuPaul a lot, but it's something that I also picked up on just through other shit. Probably because I read so many damn biographies about people that are famous or watch interviews because I'm interested in that kind of stuff. The one from RuPaul is the classic saying of if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Which is, it's true. You have to love, whether it's yourself on a personal level or the work you do, you've got to love it in some way because otherwise no one else is going to love it. Like if you're producing work that people don't like the reason that this podcast seemingly goes well at times is because Tim and I really enjoyed doing it. If we didn't enjoy doing it, people would know and it wouldn't turn out well. And we are confident in this show because we're just confident. But the other thing that I've picked up on that I think is very important in this case is that at some point in your life, you've got to understand when you are good at something and when you're better than other people at something.
Yeah.
And
it's not a bad thing to think that you're
No.
better than other people. This is, I think that's something that we get told a lot in our culture. It's a very weird dichotomy.
It's tall poppy syndrome.
Yeah, it's a very weird dichotomy. It's like push, push, push. You've got to be better than everyone else. But as soon as you start to acknowledge that, I mean, there is acknowledging it, and then there's being a fucking arsehole as
Correct.
well. And if you're an arsehole and you flaunt it in people's faces and gloat and stuff, that's the complete opposite of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But even if you do acknowledge it, then you start, it's tall poppy syndrome. People are like, oh, you think you're better.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Yeah, kind of, actually. Like, in this particular area, but you're better than me in that area.
Which is exactly what, like, and that's where I've come to now. And I'm sure that it comes off to some people as arrogance or dickheadery or whatnot. And, like, I don't do it all the time. But, like, a very good example for me, and you've probably had the same thing, is that when people find out you do musicals, the first question they say is, so are you good at singing?
Yeah.
And the response for many, many years is always, oh, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah,
I guess
that's literally
I'm
exactly how
Yeah.
I answer that question.
But then I was like, I don't know, you tell me. Like, I've been a lead role in this many musicals. I've been doing musicals for this long and no one's told me I'm shit yet. So, yeah, I guess I am actually good at singing. Like,
Yeah.
but it is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And I am still not great at it.
Oh, God.
And because it happens with the podcast. So to bring it back to Kim's question in particular, podcast is the hard one, because we get that question a lot about our podcast. Podcast is something that is very personal to everyone, whether you're a listener of the podcast or whether you're creating the podcast. It's all very important. And people will constantly be like, well, is your podcast good? And it's like, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's good. Like, that's the reason I fucking put it out there every week, and that's the reason that people are listening. Like, I'm sure it's not shit. And Kim, we would tell you if it was shit.
Yeah, I've got this thing where I'm real critical. So, I mean, I wouldn't be super critical, but we would find ways to be productive with you if we thought it was bad, which we do not.
You, Kim, in particular, this advice is just for Kim, so everyone else just, hey, come here. Fuck off.
If you listen to the next few sentences, I swear to fucking God.
I'll throw Yowies at you with American chocolate. Kim, knowing you are an extremely supportive friend, and you have given a lot for a lot of people for a long time in all their creative pursuits. And it's always contagious hanging out with you and listening to you talk about something. I'm always like, no, I'm excited about this random game I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
And so it's your turn to get that in return, and that's what your friends are doing. They're now supporting you,
absolutely,
in the same way that you've supported them. It got deep. It got meaningful.
I guess we haven't really been with this one. You can't answer the question directly because I don't think that there is just a way to just be more confident. I think it's something you have to work at. I think the best way is just to focus on your product. Do the work.
Yep.
That's how I do it. I focus on what I'm working on and I put my best into it.
Yes.
And when people compliment me, I try to take it in a nice way and not get awkward and go bright red and quiet. But it's going to happen, and just focus back on the work.
Being complimented is like when someone says happy birthday to you and you don't know how to respond, so you're like, thank you or you too.
Yeah.
Or when like a waiter says enjoy your meal and you say you too. That's the feeling of getting a compliment.
Oh God, yes.
They're like, oh, their podcast's good, and you're like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I don't know how to react.
Yeah.
What you're saying about focus on your content, produce something that you're happy with, and then it doesn't matter. Like if people would say good things. People
put it from your mind, I think, is the best. Anyway,
if just one person believes in you,
God, don't do this.
Deep enough.
Look, people are probably crying already.
Strong
we don't
enough.
need to go into this.
We have given probably our best speech since we tore down Pauline Hanson in Parliament. That was a great day for the bear pit for Tim and I.
Yep, definitely remember that. I don't.
We didn't.
Common known fact about Tim. Leon was talking about walking away from tests and forgetting everything. I walk away from the podcast and more often than not do not remember what the fuck we've been talking about or what I've said. People bring things up with me all the time. They're like, hey, remember when you blah, blah, blah on the podcast? Honestly, no, I do not remember
Tim,
that.
I'll put you on blast. How many times have you listened to an episode of Yogi Dave?
0, because I can't stand my own voice.
That's a lie.
No, that's probably wrong. I've listened to maybe
episode 1.
a couple, maybe like 4 or 5.
I still maintain you listen to episode 1.
If you put all the little pieces I've listened together, it might be like 4 or 5.
And then you immediately told me.
Yeah.
So Kim, just don't be like Tim and actually listen. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
I listened to it. I think that answered her question somewhat.
I don't know.
But you specifically, Kim, you're good and
Yeah.
your podcast is good.
We like you as a person.
We like you, and I really enjoyed your podcast.
Okay.
Podcast? Ooh, that'd be a good romantic podcast series.
Podcast.
Hey, everyone, shut the fuck up. It's about
Next
two
week,
two
podcast
Yowies.
is released.
Podcast, two
Yeah.
Yowies from both alike in dignity. Cool. What
That was a deep advice.
Yeah, look, Kim brings out the best in all of us.
Next week we'll have a funny one.
A funny Harold Holt, because the person that sends it in will send in a funny one.
Yes, it'll definitely be humorous because of them and not because of
Wink,
us.
wink. Good stuff. Well, Tim, I think we all deserve a Yowie. Thanks, as always, to T Smell, Smelly, T, Taylor Smirl, Taylor Moon Smell, Smelly, Whirly, what a girly.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Nelly. For our wonderful cover art that we use in every episode.
And Curtis Fernance, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Fern Tree music, none of that other bullshit Leon did. Thanks for the music, bruv.
Bruvna.
Good
Bruvna
stuff.
General.
Yep.
We have fun here. Excuse me. Thanks to Auscast Network for having us on the network, and for Omny Studio for giving us so much control.
Oh, the control. That's
control.
a callback.
It's like going into a colonoscopy and them giving you the scope.
Yeah. You can explore up inside yourself.
Whilst half asleep. Thanks to our patrons on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ get this. Not get this, / Yegaday. I was going to say get this, it's Yegaday.
Oh, right.
But it's
no.
/ Yegaday. You can donate from $1. And Tim and I are about to use our, I think it's called handwriting, I think. I haven't used it in a very long time.
Oh, right.
Because of the technology that we live in.
Yeah. So the postcards we're going to send out it's got like an example capital letter A and a small letter A, and then we're going to like try and replicate them as well as best
We're going to get our pen license.
It's literally just our handwriting exercises. There's no personal messages on these things.
Why would we do that? That's creepy. So we've got to write postcards for people because they're patrons, and you could get that too, but you haven't because you haven't done it yet. So you should do it.
Yeah,
but you don't have to.
No, but if you can, but if you don't want to.
And you know what I did in terms of donating as well? I also donated to Max Fun recently from the Max Fun Drive.
Oh, yeah, they're having that recently. I've been listening to Bim Bam.
Yeah, and so we talk
about it.
fondly of them. Choosing the pin that you want is the hardest thing possible. I think I chose the Sawbones pin because it said cure alls, cure nothing, or something like that. As
That's fun.
So, it's fun to support those, to all the things. Support everything. Support all of it. Just stop paying your rent and support everything.
Support everyone.
And find us on all the social medias and on the internets, and you fill out the internet form like Kim did. She wrote that on our website.
She did.
In the contact us section. So that's great. Tim, thank you.
No, you're welcome.
No, you're welcome too, even though you didn't thank me. That's fine.
It's all good now. All right, let's wrap this business up.
Oh, no, I control this. I'm in complete control.
Let's wrap it up like a delicious Yowie.
Yeah, that'd be good. As always, g'day, Tim.
Yeah, g'day, Leon.
Yeah, g'day, everyone.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to auscastnetwork.com for details.